Sean Zittel, FightHype.com, here with my man, undefeated welterweight Cody Crowley, fighting on one of the biggest pay-per-view cards of the year this Saturday at the MGM on Showtime pay-per-view, taking on Abel Ramos. And you are rated in the top 4 by both the WBO and the WBC. So let's jump into it, Cody. Have you liked, since you've come to America, this is the third out of the last 4 opponents that's, a Mexican fighter. Have you liked this style and these guys that want you to bang with them?
Of course. I think that is my bread and butter. That's the fighter from Canada. That's in my roots. That's the hockey brawler. We like to grab jerseys and just start throwing. We don't need much space. So that's my roots, and that's the core of me. The boxing ability, the movement, the timing, those are just smaller tools that I've been able to pick up over the years. But the true Cody Crowley is the guy that can stand in that center of the ring and bang it out for 12 rounds straight. That's what, brought me all around the world boxing, 25 plus world champions, helping get them ready for world title fights, helping push them to limits that their conditioning hasn't been pushed to. So when I get a fighter that is talking that they're going to be right there ready to bang, this is the Cody Crowley challenge. I'm ready for a phone booth. I'm stepping in the center of the ring and I'm not backing up. Abel Ramos is a person with a lot of experience. He's been known for some very exciting fights at the highest level. And I'm the type of guy that's looking to become a legend in the sport that has those Arturo Gatti wars, that's known for every single time Cody Crowley fights. It's action packed. There's going to be blood. There's going to be 100+ punches thrown per round. And the fact that this guy is helping me achieve that, I can't be more grateful for it. So please, please, please don't run, Abel. Please meet me at the center of the ring and let's bang it out. I'll be as Mexican as you want that night.
Well, you're one step ahead of me, because that was my next question. Do we see you box more? Or do we just see same Cody Crowley?
You see, I want to entertain people. I want to break my opponent down. I want to inflict pain. I want to suffocate them. But at the same time, some of my fights, I get a little bit too excited with my aggression, which doesn't allow me to take advantage of when a fighter's hurt, or possibly get the stoppage when the meat's been cooked and it's ready to eat. Sometimes I've been too emotional that I haven't been able to sit back a little bit and plant my shots better. So I feel like this is a fight where I'm going to prove that. I've had like 5 or 6 stoppages my last 2 weeks of sparring. So I'm showing in proof that my placement, once the meat is ready to eat, I eat it. I cook it up real nice and then I eat it. And that's something that I haven't been able to show too often is getting those guys out of there when they're ready. So, I've been working very, very hard since July. I've been told that, I'd be fighting in 6 weeks. So I haven't took my foot off the gas since July. I was boxing 12 4-minute rounds for the last month straight. So I'm ready. And that's really all I have to say is I'm ready for war.
You got me excited listening to you talk about it. There's a little scary precedence there. You're from Canada and you're called the Crippler. I'm sure you're aware of some precedents there with that nickname and coming from Canada. Go ahead.
You know what? I think
funny here. I'm being funny here too. But
yeah, I was trying. I think that one went over my head.
It's Chris Benoit. But anyways, I'll keep it moving.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll keep it.
So yeah. Long story short, once I started boxing, even though I was a hockey guy, I literally haven't watched a game since. So all that is going straight over my head.
This was a wrestler called the Crippler, but we'll keep.
My bad.
No, you're Cody. That's That shows how dedicated and focused you've been in boxing, that you haven't had time for that outside stuff.
Yeah. Literally, once I started boxing, I pulled away from absolutely everything. And yeah, I don't know who's on the TV. I don't know who's signed to what team. I don't know who just won the Super Bowl. Literally, I don't know.
It was the Chiefs, but it's not important, but it was the Chiefs.
Who are the Chiefs?
They play in Kansas City. They
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that shows where I'm at.
Right. But you mentioned you've helped. I think you mentioned even a number. It was around 25 world champions. Who are some of the best champions you've sparred with since coming over to America?
Floyd Mayweather, obviously, Zab Judah, Timothy Bradley, Gervonta Davis, Tank, Jorge Linares, Francis Bartholomew, Edward Troyanowski. List goes on and on.
Why do you feel like you've been able to handle not just those sparring sessions, but all your step ups in competition since you've gotten over here? Why do you think you've been able to be successful with that?
I feel like I'm a fighter in life. And I got a big heart that just won't quit. And my will to win and tenacity is just on another level. And every single one of those wars that I went into was just like stash of money in the bank. It made me internally stronger. When I first came over here, like I said, my boxing IQ and skill level was horrible. But one thing I had was a granite chin and my conditioning, and I could keep going and take whatever anybody would give me. And after that happened with Floyd and the doors just opened up, I was self-managed, self-promoted, self-funded. So we were literally fighting for survival and fighting for my career in those sparring sessions. Those sparring sessions weren't just showing up to the gym for another workout. I was treating every one of those as if they were a world title fight. And I was pushing myself internally to new edges every single time, that the battery just kept growing and growing and growing and growing, to the point where I can just hang in there with anybody. And that's the reason why I haven't been broke in any of my fights yet. Yeah.
Going back to those sparring sessions, you mentioned Floyd right away, that was one of the moments that let you know, it sounds like that lets you know you can hang at the top level here in the United States. What happened in that sparring session exactly? That sounds like it stood out a little bit.
Yeah, it did for sure. One of it, because I was caught off guard. I was in his camp, but not really in it. My coach sent me down there because he was supposed to send a fighter down there, but I was not the right size or shape that they wanted. And so they told me just to go home, kind of, but I just continued to show up every day and sit in the corner. And then a couple of weeks later, Floyd showed up in a bad mood and really wanted to tee off on somebody. And of course, that's me. So I was looking across the ring at one of the greatest fighters in the world. And, his dad even in the corner, that duo, right, that has been such an idol for me and everything. And it's just little old me in the corner, right? And I got a whole entire gym banging on the ring, screaming for me, you're going to get knocked out, you're going to die, all this crazy stuff that I've never seen before. I felt like I was in a movie. And within 5 or 6 minutes, maybe like 10 or 15, my adrenaline was just so shot, and I was getting beat up so bad that I literally had my very first out of body experience where the time froze still. I hovered above myself And I was looking down at myself and Floyd and everybody in the gym. And it felt like 5 minutes long. And I was having a conversation with myself like, okay, you know, you did it. You tried it. You can stop right now and take a knee here in front of everybody. The very first time in your life, take a knee and go home. Or if you continue to keep going against the greatest fighter on the planet, you will become a world champion. And I went back into my body. I blinked, and 40 minutes later, after 12 rounds, Floyd just taps me on the gloves, and next thing you know, I was one of his chief sparring partners for the remainder of camp and for the Conor McGregor fight. So that moment,
years and years ago. Wow, this is years ago.
Yeah, that moment stood out for me in life because we all have those moments, right? Those make or break moments where it's sink or swim. You keep going or you turn around and go the other way. And I had a choice to make in my life. And I continued to keep swimming forward. And now here we are today, fighting for a WBC eliminator.
Great story, man. And you are rated number 3 by the WBC as of today. So congrats getting this far and getting to pay-per-view.